Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your man, the Bigga P, and I'm here to give you my post-fight thoughts on tonight's pay-per-view card and Showtime card. First of all, I'd like to say that it was a great night of boxing, and I'm on a boxing high, and I loved every part of it. You know, I had the Showtime card on my TV, and I had the pay-per-view going on my laptop while I was typing up everything on my netbook. You know, so like life was good if watching all those fights. It was wonderful. The first fight, I guess I'll talk about the Showtime card first. The first card, I think the first match was Morel, and I wrote all these down because there was like 8 different cards. Yes, it was Santa Cruz and Morel. Now originally I think I had Cruz winning by decision, but I guess that Oscar incentive of getting 100 G's to the KO made them fight even harder. So Cruz actually, I mean, Morello gave it a good try, but I think he was just simply like too old. Yeah, he was pretty much too old to really handle the power, that Cruz was delivering, and he brutalized him. It was beautiful, like head to the body, over and over again. I think the last fifth round where it got stopped, like well, just had pretty much. I don't think he was ever gonna win. You know, he didn't even look like he even had a Hail Mary shot in him, and that was just, and that started like, everything off right. Um, the second fight on that card was personally to me was my own personal fight of the night, Maidana and Soto Karas or Karas. If I pronounce it wrong, it's whatever. That fight was unbelievable. 8 rounds of brutality. Let me see. Both fighters getting points takeaway, flirting with DQs, punching after the bell, posturing after the bell. You know, and on top of that, just hard hitting action. Sotokaras was just walking. At first, was walking through those punches, and Maidana was delivering. You know, they were really, just a whole bunch of punch fuckery going on in that fight. Like they were landing bombs. That in the first knockdown in the 7th round, when Sotokaras finally went down, that came out of nowhere. I was like, oh shit. And then in the 8th round, when he was taking that barrage on the ropes, you see that big ass vein in his neck pulsating, as he took that barrage. I was like, yeah. And they stopped it right there. Now, it was probably one of those fights where you probably want to see a more definitive stoppage. But, it was also one of those fights where it was probably in the interest of Sotokaras not to continue to save him from possibly getting even more messed up down the line in that fight if it continued. But that fight just had me just like, wow. I was like, that fight was the shit right there. Then the third fight was Gonzalez and Ponce de Leon. After that fight, it's a come down fight. Um, it wasn't it was okay fight. Neither fighter was very accurate, wasn't too accurate in the beginning. And then Ponce de Leon landed that left hand and then sent him through the ropes, sending Gonzalez to the ropes. And I think at that point, I knew Gonzalez was probably done. Then afterwards, Gonzalez had this look like he was a zombie. Like either he was drained or he was just overwhelmed by the activity. It's a shame that the headbutt ended things prematurely because I really didn't think Gonzalez probably had give and take by maybe 2 more rounds before the knockout would have came. But I think I had Ponce de Leon winning by KO, and that part would have happened. But I'll take a technical decision. So I'm happy to see Ponce de Leon with the title again, and that was that. And it warmed us for the main event, Canelo versus Lopez. Now I wanted Lopez to win so badly. I wanted him to produce another broken jaw TKO miracle. But he simply, going up one division is it's not bad. But at 154, he just simply was too small. He didn't carry any power up there to affect Canelo, and he just got beat down. He got knocked down 3 times. I think it was stopped in the fifth round, or the end of the 5th round. And I'm like, and I was rooting for him because I was thinking, because Usually around fights around the 4th, 5th round, 6th round, Canelo starts with the open mouth, and I was hoping that he would be able to hold on and maybe Canelo start slowing down, but it wasn't meant to be. I mean, what it is for Lopez, he put on a good showing. He fought hard, so obviously he'll probably get some more money down the line. But he clearly does not belong at 154. He needs to go back to 140, or if anything, make a serious one at 147. Well, he always has that rematch with excuse me. Yeah, he always has that rematch with Victor Ortiz, who I saw that was in the audience. But yeah, he doesn't belong at 154. As for Canelo, I think probably at this point now he's probably gonna try to call out Floyd and Floyd this and Floyd that. You know, I mean, I'm not gonna do any type of preview analysis, pre-fight on that particular fight. But I mean, what's the type of? I mean, all it is just basically Lopez was just the man at the right, at the man was just the only man really available, just since Canelo wouldn't face any of the champions, and Lopez already had a name, so. A win doesn't really mean much in terms of things, but yeah, Lopez now needs to stop bullshit and fight a legit 154 pounder. Either go after a champion or go after contenders. It's a loaded division, and there's a whole bunch of them. What did I say, Lopez? No. If I said, I don't remember what I said, but Canelo needs to fight another champion. Or another top contender at 154. Lopez needs to go back to 140, at least, and hopefully that beating didn't deteriorate him, or take a toll on him, because it was pretty bad. So that is it for the Showtime card. Now the HBO PPV card. In contrast, the undercard bouts weren't as great. I mean, the first one was Rigo versus Moroccan. It was a typical exhibition. Rigo knocked him down twice or 3 times. He really bloodied up the kid good, but yeah. Also, another thing is Rigo showed that he's kind of chinny, because he got rocked a couple times by just one punch and was holding on for dear life. I mean, as a boxing fan, I appreciate the skill, but if he ever wants to get to the main event level, then he's gonna have to start putting away some of these people. Then the second fight was Macklin versus Alcine. And there's nothing to talk about. I thought it was going to be a decision, and then Macklin just blew him away. He knocked him out twice and just blew him away in one round. Pretty damn good fight, I guess. Short fight. And then the third fight, I think, is the most underrated of the night. Martinez versus Beltran. And that was a damn good fight. But I think, the reason why it probably was not, wasn't, I think it's underrated, because the two fighters, I mean, unless you know the boxing circles, unless you know them like deep in the boxing circles, you wouldn't really know who they are. But I thought that was a very highly entertaining fight. But I thought Beltran won that fight. Not by much, but I thought he won the fight. But it's boxing. What can you say? And then, of course, the main event, Martinez and Chavez Jr. That fight was a total clinic. For the first 11 rounds, it was beautiful. Martinez moving, hands down, brutalizing Chavez Jr., with all types of punches, going to the body and head, moving. Chavez was just a big plotter, just absorbing those punches and getting lumped up and bloodied. And I'm thinking to myself, this is what's up. He's getting the ass whooping that he should have received. And, it was highly entertaining watching Martinez undress him like that. But the 12th round, though, had my heart racing. Because, Martinez is going out there, after the 11th round, he pummeled him. I'm thinking to myself, okay, he might get the stoppage in the last round. And then, turns out he got caught again. He got caught and got dropped. I'm thinking to myself, this is going to be shades of Meldrick Taylor and Chavez Sr. And I expected Martinez to go into a show, but he just said, you know what, fuck this. I'm going to stand over and hold my ground. And keep in mind, Chavez, at this, you know how he does. He comes into the fight, quote unquote, on weight, but come fight time, he's a damn cruiser. 24 hours later, he's a cruiser, because he looked big as hell. And I think probably the size is the only thing that stopped him from getting KO'd. Now, if it was 158 from yesterday when he weighed in, when he looked drawn and sick, then Martinez would have annihilated him. But Yeah, but that was absolute total heart rate. That 12th round was classic. He lost. I mean, that was probably the only round Martinez really lost in the card to me. So now Martinez is back to being the true middleweight champion of the world. When he never stopped being a true middleweight champion of the world. I can't say anything. I can't say enough good things about Martinez. He's a great fighter. Good guy. And I know he's also now in that sweepstakes to get a fight with Floyd Mayweather. And hey, he deserves it. He deserved that big money fight because he put on a great performance. As for Chavez Jr., what he needs to do is pretty much number one, probably get a different trainer because I don't think Roach is the trainer for him. Personally, he should probably be trained by his father. Who I think was probably the only reason why he actually won that round because he was telling him over and over again to let his hands go. And when he finally did, he nearly scored a knockout. But Chavez Jr. overall needs to really, 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 really take his career seriously. Because if he doesn't take his career seriously, then there will be more fights when he faces more high level competition. There could be more nights like this. And another thing too, pray that he doesn't ever fight a middle. That is, if he stays at middleweight or if he stays fighting at middleweight, with someone who can actually punch above his weight. And things will definitely go bad for the dude. So yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much my post-fight thoughts on all those fights. Right now, after I load this up, I'm about to go on the forums and and Twitter and all that and talk about the fight some more before I eventually do end up passing out for the night. All right, y'all. Y'all be easy. Peace.